Howdy folks, in today's video I'm going to talk about something else that I see a lot of people asking about on some of the forums when you arrive in Canada from South Africa, or I guess from anywhere else. How do you open a bank account? Now, I don't know everything about that, but I can tell you what our experiences were. So when we arrived, number one, these days obviously you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So when we came in, we had to quarantine for 2 weeks. We had to download the ArriveCan app and fill all of that out, and they actually check it quite interestingly, because initially when we arrived, when we were planning to come here, we were planning to come and quarantine at an Airbnb. And then just before we actually came, our plans changed. So I completed the ArriveCan app with the Airbnb address. And just before we arrived here, friends of ours said they have a house on Gabriola Island that's open, there's nobody there, we can go and quarantine there for 2 weeks, which is obviously a lot cheaper and a lot easier and better than an Airbnb. So when we came in through the border, we filled out the new address, and they immediately picked it up on the ArriveCan. The guy said, whoa, on ArriveCan you said you're going to go stay here, now you're going to stay here, what's going on? And I had to explain, look, obviously they understand it, but just make sure you fill it out completely correctly. Anyway, but now I digress, that's off the subject. So opening a bank account, that was a little bit of a mission, because you arrive here and it says, oh, RBC, open a bank account online for newcomers, new immigrants, and they give you like bonuses, and they promise you bonuses, $300 bonus if you open the account and fund it, and I don't know, a whole lot of stories. So we arrived at our Airbnb, well, not our Airbnb, where we quarantined at the friend's house, obviously very tired the first day. The second day we were like, sweet, now let's get it done. Log on online, we're going to go open an online bank account now. Fill out all the details, it all goes really well, up to the point where they go, okay, now all you have to do is come into the bank and present your passport. And I'm like, you said we can... You said we can do this online. Now, how does that work? So you can do the whole application online, but you cannot get your bank account online. You still have to go into the bank, and they have to verify your identity. So all of that stories about opening your account online, as far as I know, it doesn't work. I tried RBC, I tried BMO. I don't know if of any other banks, but you can't open your account online. And then there was another issue with that. It was also a little bit of a pain, because they go, what's your address? Now luckily it was our friend's house, and we were there for 2 weeks, but they moved, after we left they moved there, so we could use the same address, because they mail you your bank cards. They don't give you your bank cards. So mailing me the bank cards, they were like, okay, what's your address? Where are we going to mail it? So if you're in an Airbnb, you're going to have to get the cards mailed to your Airbnb, meaning that you still need to be at the Airbnb, but if it's after your quarantine, so it's a little bit of a pain in the behind now with COVID. I think it makes things slightly more difficult. The bank cards arrived about 2 weeks later at that address. We weren't there anymore, but we got them the next time we went there. So yeah, it is an interesting little problem with the quarantining, because you can't go into the bank and get your stuff processed immediately. So you're going to have to come and quarantine, and after the 2 weeks quarantine, go into the bank, get yourself verified, and then get an address where stuff can be sent, where you will still get it. Although I suppose, to be honest, I think they changed our bank card address literally we got 4 or 5 cards for each account we opened, because when we opened the account, there was a learner running the counter. So he made a mistake on the address, or he made a mistake on something, and it didn't work. So he cancelled the first set of cards, and he issued new cards to the address. And then that didn't work, so he cancelled it, and he issued new cards to the address. Then that didn't work, and he cancelled it, and did a final issue to the address. And then when we arrived over here, we went into another bank, because we said, well, we're here now, the address is on Gabriola Island, but we're here now. And then they said, oh, well, let's just issue new cards to your new address. So we got a pile of cards that we all had to cut up. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. It's not, COVID has messed things up. It's not designed for, the system is not designed for COVID just yet, I don't think. So you are going to have to quarantine, and you are only going to be able to do your bank application or your application after quarantine. And they're quite strict. These ArriveCAN guys, they phone every day. How's things? How's everybody feeling? Are you staying at home? Are you staying safe? Blah blah blah. So you know, they check up on you. Weirdly enough, they didn't phone me or Belinda. They phoned Angelique every day. Maybe she looked like the most untrustworthy of the lot of us. Sure, she's not gonna like that. Anyway, guys, that's it. Opening a bank account when you arrive. Cheers.